Hey, you! You clipped it in the video. Well, good for you. Guess we're gonna go straight into the run by creating my character, huh? This is a little preset thing. You're gonna see this a few times with me explanation thing. Oh, let's go before this gets too long. Which, let's be honest, at this point, it kinda already is long. But straight into the character, let's go. Obviously, when creating a character, you have to make the one and only Walter White because, let's be honest, what other scientist are going to choose? But hey, before we get into the official run, let me just go over some of the rules here. First rule is, I can only use scientific weapons or anything that's considered a marvelous science. I'll explain as I'm getting the weapons, but second rule is, as you can see from Codsworth in front of me here, I can only use robots as my companion. I'm also able to use any robot weapon as well, since it fits the theme of scientific robot guy. Yeah, as you can tell at the time of making the script, I did not think about the title of this video, but that matters little or not. Because this is dragging out for a little bit longer than what is intended, I'm going to change my HUD into the color of blue meth, of course, and begin the run.
Good morning, Vault-Tec.
Go on.
Nice to find you, sir. You can't begin to know how happy
I'm here now.
So you are. So you are. Now, I know you're a busy
Go away.
Come on. It's just a little paperwork. Let him fill it out, and it's done.
These are the stats I chose for the build. Might not be the optimal, but at the time I thought it was fitting to the run.
Mr. White!
Hey, how's my little guy? Much better now, huh? Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Oh my god!
We did it. We made it. We're okay.
Anyways, my wife is dead. Time to go bunch on a bunch of roaches. I bet you have no idea where the stash even is. Uncle was sadly died, but try again, getting the laser musket, which is the first weapon I'm actually able to use. It's not the best, but I managed to deal with the raiders good enough. Also afterwards, jump into the vertibird, grab the power armor and the minigun located inside here, and make sure to sell it to the nearest merchant you can find for extra caps.
Whoa, easy there, Mr. Power Armor. This doesn't involve you.
Also, if you make it to Diamond City fast enough early in the playthrough, you're able to get the spray and pray from Cricket, but since we're going scientific only, that's completely useless to me. Also, the Diamond City gates got triggered by some random rad roach that was following me, so I guess I was kinda lucky at me. I don't like Bible. Now at this point, every single player of a Bethesda game will automatically know the first thing you do whenever you get into a major city is to break into every building you can and steal as many items as your little backpack or Pip-Boy or wherever all this loot is going can fit. And you don't have to worry about any of the guards, because guards in Bethesda game aren't really what you call, competent?
Broke up with my girl. She kept the cap off the toothpaste.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying?
Even though for the early run, I decided to go to Cambridge and help out the Brotherhood of Steel in the early game, despite the fact of us going for the Institute ending, and spoke with Paladin Danse.
What's your business here? Evading my questions is a surefire way of getting yourself ejected from the compound. Are you from a local settlement?
I'm from Sanctuary.
Location on our maps, but I've never visited the area myself.
You're all hard, Doc.
Just quit squirming so I can get these bandages on.
Look at these wrecks. It appears as though the facility's automated security's already been dealt with. You're awfully quiet.
I see that.
Damn it.
Luckily throughout this entire questline here with Paladin Danse, he's tanky enough and has the firepower to deal with basically every single synth you're able to encounter on this mission very fast. I'm also able to acquire the junk jet, which is considered a marvel of science.
Oh my god, are you alright? God.
After Paladin Dan's getting shot at least 110 times by lasers, he gives us his special own Standard Brotherhood laser rifle, which has a legendary effect. We will be using this weapon for the majority of the playthrough right to the end. And also, to increase our firepower even more, if you know what these enemies are in the Creation Club, you already know what I'm trying to get here. But these are the Sentinel Power Armors. By first defeating them by any means necessary, or by the uses of drugs, you're able to get a radio off them that tell them to go kill this guy at a gas station. But this guy is very powerful and tough. Probably should have done this beforehand, but make sure to bring a lot of explosives with you. As you can see, this time I tried sneaking up to him and laying a trap to try and put him in. And there was a lot of mines in here. I discovered after blowing it up, it did less than half his goddamn health bar. Jesus Christ. And try it again. Doing very little damage. Great. But I eventually got a lucky shot. After defeating Daughter, got us able to use the Sentinel Power Armor, which is very powerful once you get it. It doesn't need fusion cores, doesn't need ammos, and is an overall very good companion because it doesn't actually take up a companion spot. I headed over to the location where the Automatron DLC starts, and I also found this radar that had lots of money on its mine. But I soon discovered that I was too low level for the DLC to actually spawn, so I had to go do some side quests. Like for example, you remember those people at the beginning? I decided to go back and help them dealing with all the raiders inside of the building before going up to them.
Power armor. Military issue.
This is crazy.
Get the suit.
Right. Could work.
It'll work.
Okay.
I'm here to talk about the fact that a whole bunch of footage just got corrupted. Me defeating the Deathclaw in the end of that mission, and I decided to go to Park Street Station to save Valentine. Which would have been really funny, because I had some really funny bits that were edited for them. But now I went to help Valentine at his detective agency. Enjoy. Isn't it strange how this character is considered a lot of people's favorite? I mean, I kind of see it, but kind of don't. But you also have to remember the fact that Valentine is the detective, so provide him with as much information as you possibly can about the case.
Oh yeah. I heard their names, their home addresses, and where their diary keys are hidden.
All right, all right.
See, grinding me up already.
Like grist in the mill, honey. Good luck. Sorry, but you're not getting that key from me. Why do you want it so badly anyway?
None of your business.
All right. I'm just going to leave this key on my desk and forget I put it there.
You need something, Scabbard?
E flat and G walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, but we don't serve minors in here." So E flat leaves, while C and G have a fifth between them.
I don't get it. We eventually make our way into Kellett's house and unlock his secret room on the side.
What? The great Clockwork Dick is stumped?
It's Synth Detective, jackass.
Trusting my family's future to a dog. That's it. I'm officially crazy.
Hey, hold up there. First time in Good Neighbor? You can't go walking around without insurance.
Hey.
I like you already. You feel me? Everyone's welcome.
I feel you.
Good.
Make sure to steal a Fat Man or any weapon that you're able to steal, because it's not like the shopkeeper here has any purpose for them. After dealing with much of the minor matter of security, I eventually fared my way into the treasure room of Jamaica Plains, where, more importantly, I can get this weapon located on this display cabinet. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit the science theme and can't use it, because it is basically just a wooden stick. However, I decided if I get enough materials and manage to put the rocket attachment on it, then I'll consider it sciencey enough to me to be able to use in the run. But I still need to do some XP farming, And for a little bit, and some more shelves placed, the Automatron DLC prompt finally started. I had my way over to where the quest location started by helping Ada, but also because the robots here are still very strong and I'm not actually high enough level to deal with them properly, I managed to upgrade Sentinel to be a very specific, powerful man. That's right, it's the one and only Buzz Light month. Also, while fighting, I decided to use the robotics pack to make this robot self-destruct in itself because, I mean, it's kind of funny watching these guys self-destruct.
I am registering sadness. They were my friends, and I failed them.
You certainly paid that price.
Your apathy only increases my feelings of responsibility.
After talking with Ada, she told us that we had to go to the robotic factory to deal with a whole bunch of other robots there, so immediately after the quest, I headed over there to deal with some explosive bots. After defeating the Robobrain in this building, I got the Mechanist device and made sure to go back, talk to Ada and give it to her to do the next part of the quest.
Please just... Wait, you're not with the Gunners. Are you here to help us out?
The Gunner's giving you trouble?
After talking with Ada, she gave us the schematics to build a robotic workbench, which would be very helpful for the rest of the run because we get to make our own Automatron. After making the base template for him, I appropriately dubbed the as Beep and Boop, as homage to a robot I made in a previous run. After getting more resources and upgrading a little bit more, I went to go test him out on a few of the robots we'll tell to hunt down.
Get him!
During the commotion of fighting the super mutants, I made the mistake of going inside this clearly trapped door into this building, which at the time I didn't know was a complete jigsaw maze filled with terrifying, gruesome sights of dead bodies being mutilated, rooms filled with bugs and traps, mannequins, and confusing puzzles which actually didn't really take that long, and also dead ends everywhere. I also found this really cool room. Did have a sentry in it, but I had like the Christmas lights would look cool and Christmas trees, everything. I pretty much like this. I don't actually like Christmas anymore. Oh, what the heck? Oh, that's cool. I did, however, find this really interesting room, which was like a choose your own prize thing. One button would open the door but destroy everything in the other one. I eventually chose the one that had all the fusion cores and ammo, which helped me in the long run. Eventually found the roof and finally got out of there, and dealt with the robots that were located nearby. Try and guess my least favorite robot. I grabbed the radar beacon off the body of the Robobrain and headed my way over to Fort Hagen, which were not that very hard, most of them missed, despite being automated defense systems. But I eventually made my way destroying everything throughout Fort Hagen, eventually making my way down to Kellogg. Which, after destroying this synth, he eventually started talking to me.
Yeah, it isn't my old friend, the frozen TV dinner. Last time we met, you were cozying up to the peas and apple cobbler.
And he kept taunting us the entire way while making our way throughout the fort.
Never expected you to come knocking on my door. Gave you 50-50 odds of making it to Diamond City. After that, figured the Commonwealth would chew you up like jerky. You're pissed. I get it, I do. But whatever you hope to accomplish here, it's not gonna go your way.
Inside of Fort Hagen there was something very useful as well, the anti-weapons bobblehead, which, noticing this run mostly consists of laser weapons, both plasma and Institute lasers, is very helpful. So are my teammates in this.
Your guts and determination. It's admirable. You are in over your head in ways you can't possibly comprehend. It's not too late. Stop. Turn around and leave. You have that option. Okay. We made it. I'm just up ahead. My synths are standing down. Let's talk.
There he is. Most resilient man in the Commonwealth. Fine. I thought I had that honor. Let's, talk.
Where is my son? Where is Sean?
Pal, I'm just a puppet like you. My stage is a little bigger, that's all. Sean's a good kid. Bit older than you expected, am I right? But he's doing great. Only, he's not here. He's with the people pulling the strings.
Fuck you, Kellogg. The Institute? Well, I'll find him. No matter where he is, nothing will stop me.
After defeating Kellogg, we learned from accessing his terminal that he was working with the Institute and took Sean with the Institute with him, which is not a good thing, noticing our son just got kidnapped by this boogeyman. After that encounter, we head over to the satellite array near Fort Hagen to continue with the Automatron DLC. I also found this totem, which I don't actually remember being part of a DLC. You know, even though the Rust Devils are raiders and are still aggressive, they're still smart enough to reprogram all these robots and build them. It'd be cool if Nuke World allowed you to play as this faction. Rust Devils are one of the most interesting raider factions in Fallout. This damn thing was being too loud.
You don't look like one of the Rust Devils. What are you doing here?
Just a Rust Devil wearing...
Please, don't insult my intelligence, and I usually am. Then perhaps we can help each other with our respective predicaments.
How could I possibly help you?
Willing to listen? How surprising. I'll take that as a gesture of good faith as I describe our potential bargain. Now, how can I put this as simple as possible so someone at your processing speed can understand? Destroy data? Well, come on. Let's not wait around for more horrifying monstrosities.
The worst part about trying to escape from this area isn't all the traps or the raiders in here, it's dealing with the goddamn Jezebel head.
Watch the tripwires. I'd rather keep myself intact today, thank you. Really are taking the path of most resistance here, aren't you? Based on my limited experience with you, I estimate a 65% chance of making it out of here. Not optimal. An increase in effort could have an impact on the odds. This is the one that ripped my head off. I demand we rip her head off. It's only fair.
Luckily, the weapons and armor pieces that I already had in there were very helpful as well, since they're both very scientific and robotic. You'll see me using the Tesla throughout this entire run. There's also some other robotic weapons here that I got some use out of later in the run. But after getting a ton more robotic mods and materials, I decided to give Beaten Boot a little bit of an upgrade. I'm so proud of how strong my big robots are getting. Also, Ada said the most truthful thing ever.
Of course. Shouldn't take but a moment. Robo-brains are notorious for being, well, a real pain in the neck.
But then out of nowhere, it got very depressing.
Access the Mechanist's facility.
How foolish of me. It makes perfect sense that the Mechanist would not only keep its location a closely guarded secret, but would secure it against intrusion as well. I'm terribly sorry. I hadn't considered that possibility at all. I'm afraid when it comes to assisting humans, I'm not doing very well lately.
Why would you say something like that?
Isn't it obvious? Ever since I let my friends attacked. Perhaps if I had selected an alternate route, they'd still be alive. Sometimes I wish that Jackson had programmed me with my personality mode set permanently to disabled.
Your personality defines you as an individual. Never let that go.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but it's obvious that having my personality mode on is causing me to make mistakes. I promise I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't happen again.
After putting the MSAT on Beep and Boot, I eventually head my way over to the Mechanist facility located in the sales center to finally confront the Mechanist. But before doing that, we had to go down to the basement and unlock this using Beep and Boot. Anyways, time for a cool montage.
No more hiding. If you want to talk, we do this face to face.
You're right. It's time I face the true enemy of the Commonwealth.
There. Now we both know who we're dealing with.
Your robo-brains admitted it. They're killing people to save them.
Took all the necessary precautions. Innocent lives should never be taken. And the data. They were always reporting hostiles killed and lives saved.
Not here to kill you. Only to get you and your robots to stand down.
Done. Consider it done.
Also, you may have noticed, but halfway through this battle, for some reason, Beacon Boot got glitched out and lost his name, so for some reason it's now constantly called Automatron. But I decided to work on a different project. You know Grey Garden, how it's fully run by robots, or the Mr. Handy and Mr. Nancy bots? I decided to do that. I created this robot, which I appropriately named Sickle, and I gave him his purpose of tending to the farms, giving food to people. I'll be increasing the amount of robots and how big the settlement is towards the end of it. You even get to see a big surprise at the end of it. That's assuming if you decide to stick around that long. I also talked to Nick back at Diamond City, and he told me to go to the memory den in Good Neighbor to talk to Dr. Amari in the basement, which you're seeing in this clip now.
I take it this isn't a social call.
This one's all yours, Nick.
We need a memory dig, Amari, but it's not going to be easy.
Are you two mad? Putting aside the fact that you're asking me to defile a corpse.
I mean, technically, the corpse was defiled already.
Take a look, but no guarantees. Do you have it with you?
That like Dr. Frankenstein. Ego, fetch me the brain. No?
No.
How much of the brain do you need exactly?
That is not an encouraging question.
Out of similar parts, we might have an in.
We should try plugging you into a toaster next. Fresh toast.
It's nice to know that even when I'm about to have a foreign object shoved into my noggin, you find new horrible ways to laugh at my expense.
Fine. They might not be stable. Just hold on.
Oh my god!
Petty bullshitter.
Thought you could just fuck with us?
Wanted someone else dead.
Impressive.
Sean!
You again, too.
Bye.
Much I care for you.
Next time I have to watch someone's life story, I want popcorn.
Institute tracked him to the glowing sea, but that seems crazy. A madman would think twice about going there.
It's a waste of time.
No.
I got a little sidetracked from going to the glowing sea and got a special suit of power armor from this guy named Pirate. But, as you can see here, inside this secret little bunker, which is an unmarked location, after completing the short little puzzle here, and searching the dead body you see in front of me, you're able to get a special 44 weapon, which I'm considered sciencey, the Gainer, which is a 44 pistol that does incendiary damage. I'll be using this. Also, that happened. After dealing with a few cultists at the Kingston Lighthouse, it allows us to get a new weapon, the Gamma Gun, which is a weapon that strictly does radiation damage. It's really helpful against human-like enemies, but anything that is not human, it is not effective against. Also, going back to my robot settlement, I built a new robot, which I appropriately named Soldier, so they won't have all the same names. Went to start another one, but didn't have necessary resources, and put Soldier working defense duty, which he did really good at. I mean, just look at this guy go.
Hey there.
Paladin Dance is waiting for you inside, recruit.
So yeah, I want to go do the Brotherhood questline. So I eventually made my way up to the Pridlin and met with the crew.
You're the one Paladin Dance has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
Looks can be deceiving.
I care about them, you know. The people of the Commonwealth.
If you say so.
I can understand your indecisiveness.
You're not going to convince me you're right.
Yet despite that, Paladin Dance still feels you'd be an asset to the Brotherhood. From this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of knight.
A knight? What is this, the Dark Ages?
Judging from the state of the world, it wouldn't be a stretch to say we're living in that era again.
How did it look out there?
We've got a lot
Dance?
of work ahead of us.
There you are. How did it go with Elder Maxon?
He sounds pretty delusional to me. You don't actually buy everything he's saying, do you?
You shouldn't judge Maxon on his words alone. Not to put too fine a point on it, but if you screw up, we go down together.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
Need to learn your way around this ship and get to know its crew.
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as soon as I can.
Want my help? Just ask already.
I wasn't aware you were interested, Knight.
Bye, soldier. Are you ready for your medical exam?
As long as it doesn't involve petroleum jelly and rubber gloves, I'm ready.
No. This isn't that sort of examination. Third question. And please, answer honestly. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered non-human?
Well, there was this one...
Ingram. And this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find me. If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Pridwin's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire, you come see me.
You're at it. My car is making this weird grinding noise when I back it out of the driveway.
You're gonna have to take a number.
Forward, Knight. Even though they've locked me in this blasted cage, I promise that I won't bite.
Why are you in there?
I'm glad you asked. Now, this is the stowage depot, and I, as you probably already guessed, am the ship's quartermaster, Proctor Tegan. The powers that be have me locked in here, so I can keep an eye on the Brotherhood's valuables.
So immediately after I was told about said Brotherhood's values, I broke into the cage that he is locked in, and stole every single item I could get my hands on.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with Pridwin's crew, are you ready for your next assignment, brother?
Just point me to the action.
That's Fort Strong, and it's infested with super mutants.
Now on the vertebrate, I couldn't actually kill the behemoth to get down, so I had to wait for my sentinel power armor to kill him, which...
You must hate these mutants as much as I do.
They're no different from anyone else.
Have you taken leave of your senses?
It was a piece of cake.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Eventually went and upgraded my armor to prepare for going into the glowing sea. And when I was in the glowing sea, I managed to cut up anything that was either a feral ghoul, was trying to kill me, or was trying to sting me, I guess.
You approach Atom's holy ground. Why? State your purpose or be divided in his sight.
I actually came to pick up 2 pepperoni pizzas. Huh. We are dealing with forces of God that I cannot comprehend. Cool.
I'm just here to talk.
That's so. Then talk. Fast.
Basically, this was a really long conversation, but it was basically telling me to go find a Corsa and try and see if I can get his delivery pizza, since Uber didn't deliver it on time, apparently. I eventually found the Corsa and tried getting the delivery from him.
You're here for me. What? I'm here to pick up an order. 2 large pepperoni and
He didn't give me my order.
Not on my own. I'm going to have to trust you to help me.
If you knew me, you'd probably think otherwise.
I eventually needed to get the pizza delivery decoded, so I headed to the railroad, which was easy to figure out that code because their secret code is the name of their faction. Yeah, real smart idea, secret organization.
Stop right there. You went through a lot of effort to arrange this meeting. But before we go any further, answer my questions. Who the hell are you?
I'm not saying.
I eventually realized I actually need to talk to Dr. Amari first before going to the railroad.
Well, you know, took a radiation bath, hung out with a big green guy, then I pulled this encoded chip out of a courser's neck. He was not happy.
I work with a group that, well, they're the only ones I know that even have a chance at cracking Institute security. They're called the railroad.
Thanks, Doc. How do I find them?
I can't contact them directly. They usually come to me when they have a synth that's escaped the Institute and wants new memories. But I do have a code phrase. Some kind of clue if I ever needed to find them on my own. Follow the Freedom Trail.
Alright.
Since Sorella was preoccupied, I decoded the chip myself and headed back to Virgil.
Managed to get what you need.
Nah, I just went out for a little stroll. Thought I'd stop back and say hi.
It's a good thing your survival and my humanity aren't at stake. Otherwise, I might be annoyed by your attitude. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit.
A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute.
I believe you'd be better served showing these plans to Proctor Ingram. That being said, I'm pleased that you've chosen to build the device with the Brotherhood.
Afterwards, more Rust Devils tried invading my settlement, which was great. I eventually set up the machine using the schematics Virgil gave me, and headed into the Institute, after Ingram talking for a solid 10 minutes.
I am known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean? Sean, please, come. And fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute. Insane. Now is understandable. Please, just try to relax. I know this is all difficult to take in.
Messing with the teacups.
Excellent. A sure sign that you adapt quickly to stressful environments. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you after all this time. It's me. I am Sean.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine.
They weren't kidding. You really are here.
I wanted to kill the son of...
If you ask me, we're better off without him.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Hey, Doc.
There's enough friction as it is between us.
Here you
and
are.
Pretty much all.
So basically, you're the secret police.
I suppose I'll have to ask robotics. Unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
Thanks.
Very well.
It's you. You're not authorized to be here.
I'm new around here.
That's a load of crap, and we both know it.
So good to have you here.
I'll reserve judgment until I know more about it.
And as the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of...
And anything more exciting than fake gorillas.
Well, I'll be damned, these guys actually do have synth gorillas. After talking back with Sean, he told us to go to Libertalia and take back a synth that's apparently the leader of this area. Anyways, full montage time.
talk fast, sir. Just make sure you get it right.
And stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs.
It's easy for you. Surrender now, or we kill you.
That's the way you want it? Then let's finish this!
It was a little tough, boss. I went back to Sean afterwards to commune.
But I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
This gang were sick bastards, hanging their victims up like trophies. I'm just glad it's over.
But enough about that.
They get fat and lazy, that's what. Real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
No argument here.
Nice to meet someone who isn't obsessed with replacing people with machines.
I did not say anything about that.
Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
I heard their names, their home addresses, and where their diary keys are hidden. After everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Father. Of course. You're right. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
Does anybody actually like the Railroad?
They're crazy, thinking machines are alive.
Agreed.
Although all the footage of the Bunker Hill fight is gone, it went pretty smooth. They're not. It's the Railroad, alright? That's stealth based. They're not going to fight. Anyways, we had to attend this conference meeting with the other Institute leaders.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
Excuse you.
Address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, I mean, given all parties...
Excuse me, I'm right here, you know.
That's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
Sure, compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. On our surroundings. That time is over. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. To how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate.
It is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No!
Please,
Can't be serious!
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
There must be something we can do to help you.
The only thing that matters now is continuing the Institute's work. It will be all right. I assure you, we can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh.
I had to talk to Ellie after the conference to get another quest.
Well, it's about to get busier. To the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
Oh man, I have one of those, but it's in my other pants.
You wouldn't recognize one if it fell on your head.
So I headed down to the mass fusion building to get said beryllium agitator. And after looting some things from this desk, I made my way down. And yeah, just in case you're doing this quest, would not recommend going down this elevator. It was not that cool. Kinda got shot at a few times. 0 out of 5 stars. But after that, I killed every single person in the building. Robot or human or Brotherhood of Steel. Thought I got my casual heavy dose of over 37 grams per second. The best.
Despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
It's fine.
That's what Dr. Fillmore reported. I'm quite pleased at the results. It would have been a terrible setback to lose that technology to those savages. Time. You're needed elsewhere at once.
Good. Here I was afraid I'd have nothing to do.
Very funny.
After that talk, I repaired the piece of my power armor, and also gave a long-deserved upgrade to Sentinel. I headed over here because we need a recruit guy, after killing these gunners.
Everything's taken care of. You're safe.
It was bad enough when Wallace reacted so poorly to our arrival, but then gunners? I was not prepared for that. I know he's potentially important to Phase 3 and all, but I'm not sure it's worth putting ourselves in harm's way. He doesn't want to go with us. I was thinking, maybe you could try and talk to him.
No problem. I'm sure I can get him to see reason.
I hope so. We really need him.
Mr. Wallace, I'm here to talk to you.
You're another one of them, aren't you? Are you a robot?
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I'm not a robot.
That's exactly what a robot would say.
Screw you.
I cannot express how pleased I am. Our new guest is familiarizing himself with his surroundings.
I'm proud to help the Institute. Here's hoping it all pays off.
At this point, there is no doubt. It will succeed, and very shortly. There is one more part for you to play, and I think you might enjoy it.
Right.
Lead to establish that place for the Institute's future. Please take this seriously.
So I went to go take it as seriously as I could at that time.
For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists. That we are among you. It is true. But it is not the whole truth. We're here. And we are your complete annihilation. It represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today, we activate our nuclear reactor, ensuring that we will persevere long after the world above ground ceases to exist. Ensuring that mankind has a future. We have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details of your pathetic existences. We simply insist that you do not interfere with Institute operations. To do so would result in your complete annihilation. Rest easy. Know that the future is in safe hands, and that mankind will thrive under our guidance.
Well, that was interesting.
After that, it was really easy. I just had to put the things in the raid and wait. Now I think that one was supposed to go in the same colored one, since both, and that dial one goes over to the small. Maybe the tube one goes in that one. I think the dial one. No, it. We'll try that one. Put the gray one in here. Yeah, it's that one. See if that one. If that. I knew what I was doing.
Apparently, already taken care of that problem. I am sorry. I know it was likely difficult for you.
Nope. Not a problem at all. There's always one last thing.
You're not wrong, I suppose. There will always be issues that need to be dealt with, but this is something else entirely. The Brotherhood of Steel covets technology, and has made it clear that we cannot peacefully coexist. They will eventually come for us, and attempt to take what we've spent so long creating. We need to destroy them before they can destroy us.
You're right. We take the fight to them.
I'm glad you agree.
So, with that being all said, it's finally time to take care of the Brotherhood. To be honest, I didn't like them from the start. Definitely not my most favorited faction. But it's time. I also know that I'm going to do a nice montage. At least try my best to at least do it. Both with the drug addiction and alcohol addiction. Amazing.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese presence detected. Aerial incursion by communist forces cannot succeed. Initiating directive 7395. Destroy all communists.
Time to go, sir. We're relaying to a safe location.
Excuse me.
Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. Now with the Brotherhood of Steel defeated, head back to the Institute to talk to Sean for a final time. And also along the way there, I get the notification that I can do the Nuka World DLC. If you guys enjoyed the video to watch up to this point, and comment, then sure, I'll do it.
Hello, Sean.
There you are. I already heard the news. But of course you wouldn't be here if it weren't a success. I'm glad it worked, but I'm glad you're safe.
We're all safe now.
For now. Yes, but there will always be threats. You must remain vigilant. Allie has always been loyal to the Institute, and to me. You can rely on her for help. Once I'm gone, it's all up to you.
I'll do my best.
I know you will. Don't worry about me. Never need to focus on the future. Our time together has been strange, hasn't it? I spent years wondering what you would do. You must know. I want you to know. I'm grateful for the time with you.
And with that gone, our playthrough of Fallout 4 has finished. We've completed our goal by making the Institute the ultimate faction, able to survive forever, and using the abilities of science and robots. But if you're looking at the video length right now, you can tell that there are still a few minutes left. And you are correct, there are still things to do. We may have finished the ending, but our Fallout world is not done yet. You see, there's still issues, still complications we need to deal with. For if there's one thing we learnt alongside this run, that there's only one truly strong thing, and those are the robots. They can take over any place. They can run any place. They follow orders, and they know what they're doing due to their processing. They are a lot better. They are stronger. They are the way of the future, the way of security, the way of safety, the way of the economics. Robots are known to be better. So, we have work to do. Robots must be made. The future will endure thanks to the robots. And thanks to the robots for making sure that future is sustained and is continuous. To make sure that no matter what, there will always be a guaranteed future for any machine, and that future is always bright, positive, and abundant for every robotic being. And I intend to make this assured, to know that every robot lives a full robotic life, and to endure the longest that any human could possibly dream of. But there is still one issue with the robot utopia. One issue in particular. I was not a robot. I was the one thing hindering this vision. But now, that issue has been resolved, and the robots will live on forever in harmony and probably wires and fuel. And actually, they'll probably run out of fuel in a few years. This is not well thought out, huh? Hey, this is a little behind the scenes thing. This is the entertainment show area that I was using for the little cutscene if a whole bunch of footage got corrupted. Never showed it. But hey, apart from that, hope you enjoyed the video. It took a while to make because the editing software I'm using isn't really the best one. Like, seriously and genuinely, I'm editing this in goddamn Share Factory of all things. Yeah, annoying to deal with, but I managed to get the video out. It's up to you if you enjoyed it or not. And also what I said earlier, if you think I should continue this and go over to the other major DLCs, then just comment that, or just leave a like and it'll send me a message towards that. Well, see you lads later.